That's another brilliant start. Somebody's got to go throw a shot at Escalante or he's going to start having his way. Oh, they're side by side.
Now he's going to try to stuff it.
Come on! Are you kidding me? White flag out, final lap of this race. You're stunned. I understand why. To the line it goes by the slimmest of margins, takes the win.
Welcome to Barber Motorsports Park. I'm your host, Hannah Lopa, and this is round 7 of the 2020 MotoAmerica season. After this weekend, our riders only have 2 rounds left to make their move up the championship point standings. Barber Motorsports Park is located about 20 miles east of downtown Birmingham, Alabama. This 16-turn road course opened in 2003 and features an impressive 230,000 square foot vintage motorsports museum that overlooks the track. All of Barber Motorsports Park has well-kept grounds, but part of the charm is the unique sculptures you'll find just about anywhere. Currently, there are 58 unique pieces of art throughout the park. From ants to a zombie, there's always something lurking in or around the landscape. Here's a few favorites from our riders and fans.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool sculptures around track here. My favorite one actually is probably the big spider, which is really ironic because I actually hate spiders. Favorite sculpture, I'd probably say the hanging woman off the bridge going into turn, I think 7 or Museum Corner. That's pretty special. I remember the first time I saw a hanging woman there, I got a little freaked out, but it's not real, so that's good news.
My favorite sculpture in Barber Motorsports Park is the ants carrying the Coca-Cola can over on the back corner over there.
My favorite one is the ant holding the dude over there, the person, for the bike. So that's my favorite one.
My favorite sculpture at Barber is Charlotte's Web.
I enjoyed the Dragonfly. That's one of the newest ones.
I was doing track walk and there was some dragonflies by this cool waterfall and rock feature. That's pretty cool.
The best thing for me is being able to go around and finding a new one because they're all over the place. For me, it'd probably be the lions on top of the hill back by the fan side.
Probably the Sasquatch over there next to Museum Turn. They have a big Sasquatch next to the waterfall.
Bigfoot's probably my favorite. He's heading over there by turn 8.
My favorite sculpture is the all-time champion of social distancing, Sasquatch. The Inside MotoAmerica crew traveled with Thrashed Racing's rider, Max Flinders, as he made his way with his girlfriend, Courtney, to Barber. Let's see what they did along the way.
So we had a really awesome time at New Jersey. The crowd came out. It was great to see them all out there. Now we're on the way to Barber, but I'm super excited to stop at DC and Ruby Falls on the way and have a good time with Courtney. Let's go to Barber. So we're in the truck. Me and Courtney are cruising, making our way down to Barber. We got the sound equipment with us. We got the GoPro. It's gonna be cool to show you all how we journey across America to get to all the different tracks. I mean, are you excited?
Oh yeah.
We stay 196 miles on this road, so pretty straightforward. So just gonna show you around the truck that we've spent over, I don't even know how many days in, but we've got our cubby hole that we just fill with random stuff. We have our curtain, but if you take the curtain down, you can see that we are literally packed to the brim, and when anything falls back there after we hit a big bump, we know it because we hear it and it hurts us a little bit, but you know what? We gotta get to the races somehow, so the big yellow van is the best way to do it right now.
Yep.
You ready?
Yeah. If I look up at it, it makes me sick.
Dude, are you not gonna lay next to it?
Lay next to it?
Lay next to it, you put your feet up on it and look straight up.
Are you doing it? Wait.
It already makes me dizzy looking at the top of it. Look pretty small, huh? You got it? So what happens to the Capitol building?
They do capital stuff.
They make all the capital letters in the world?
The bills.
That's exactly, you're right. Yeah, and teddy bears. All the teddy bears are made there. It's like the biggest Build-A-Bear factory in the world.
Get out of here.
It's crazy. It's just insane. I mean, when you get around here and you see like all the states and all the different things, like literally every country, every state, everything. That's where we just were, New Jersey. I don't see Alabama yet. I think it's over there. So this wall has 4,048 gold stars. Each gold star represents 100 American service personnel who died or remained missing in the war. Wow. What was my favorite monument? I honestly like the Martin Luther King one. A mountain of despair comes a stone of hope. That was really cool.
You're gonna tire her out for him.
The whole area over there with the Washington Monument and Abraham Lincoln, you've got the World War II Memorial, which is, it kind of puts it in like perspective. It's impressive to see Abraham Lincoln. I mean, they carved that whole thing out of marble, like, and it's so good. Like,
to walk around with you and like get to explore. That's like the best part with us.
Stay tuned for more Inside MotoAmerica.
Welcome back to Inside MotoAmerica at Barber Motorsports Park in Alabama. Let's get back to the road with Thrash Racing's Max Flinders as he makes his way to Barber.
Hey, I'm Max.
And I'm Courtney.
And you're watching Inside MotoAmerica.
Ow! Okay, I think it's good. Woo!
Let's go. I think like 10 things just fell over. So, traveling with me and Courtney is pretty simple. I mean, we drive pretty much all day. I sit in my super comfortable driving position. We jam out to, what, every type of music?
Every genre.
And then if we see anything cool along the way, we stop. What are we doing today?
We're going to a waterfall. It's supposedly a famous one.
It's not a famous one, it's just called Ruby Falls.
It looks famous.
Okay, it looks famous. So we're going up this really tight, windy road with cars coming both sides and rocks on the other side. So, is this so cool? Wow. It's like a castle. Look at the view. So we're here at Ruby Falls finally. We're just waiting to go down the elevator to the cave. I'm excited. She keeps singing, "Don't stop chasing waterfalls."
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Oh, sorry. This is so cool. What is it, man?
That's where you throw coins.
There's a hot spot. This cave has Wi-Fi.
What?
This cave has Wi-Fi.
Ew.
What is that, a stalagmite or a stalactite?
What?
What is it?
That's
the one that
not-
comes down.
I don't know.
Tight?
Stalactite, tight, top. I don't know. That's cool.
That one's nearly to the ground. Wow. This is insane.
That's wild.
So the mountain starts up here, The water comes down through where we just were, which was 1,000 feet below, comes out somewhere down here, I'm guessing. Just a natural flow out through the cave and down into the river. Can you see the yellow truck from here? No. Oh my gosh, dude, that would have sucked if I had the new truck up here.
Well, at least we know for Chick-fil-A you can walk through the drive-thru.
Yeah, that's one
I didn't know that. I always want Chick-fil-A. That's the bad part.
Hey, may I get the number 5?
Any sauces for that one?
2 Chick-fil-A sauces, please. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, buddy, thank you so much. Have a good one, too.
You got the bag secured?
Got it. We're all good. We go through the drive. So we're about to get our new truck and we're at Barber. We're just chilling in the parking lot. We know it's coming over there across the hill in just a little bit, so I'm so excited. Yeah, Tim's pulling it in. He just called me to let me know he's at the front gate, and my heart's kind of racing a bit, actually. I'm just watching the hill over there, like, ready to see this truck.
I'm not ready to empty out this truck. I'm not ready for all
Stop being such a Debbie Downer.
I'm not.
She's already thinking about the work. She's like, I want to empty this truck. I think that's it. I think that's it. You see it? Yeah, that's it. Wow, it's so much bigger.
Everyone's probably like, whose truck is that?
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, there's a new guy in town. Look at the Thrash Bike sticker on the side and everything. Ah, Tim looks so cool in that
thing. This is huge.
Yeah, I know, right?
You bet.
Good to see you.
See you, man.
I got a little air seat going on. We'll just go through the side. Thanks for coming along with us on the ride from New Jersey to Barber.
Stay tuned for more. Yeah.
I nailed that one. That one felt good in the soul.
Stay tuned for more Inside MotoAmerica. I feel like I have to be really excited.
Thanks for coming along with us for the ride from New Jersey to Barber.
Stay tuned for more Inside MotoAmerica.
2019 Stock 1000 champion Andrew Lee made his Superbike debut this round at Barber Motorsports Park. He takes us on a track walk to give us a peek at his favorite parts of the track.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lee and we're at Barber Motorsports Park. Let me take you on a tour of my 3 favorite corners of this track. All right, here we are in turn 1, one of the more unique corners on the track. I really enjoy this corner. We come down the hill. It's coming in fast off the front straightaway, and we can really, use the camber of this corner to really get shot up into the second corner. The second corner is also a really unique corner, but you get to use kind of the dropping down the hill to keep speed of the bike going into the next section. Here we are at turn 3. Again, another unique corner on this racetrack. Turn 3 is probably one of my favorites because how uphill it is. It's one of the more difficult corners on the track, so it really challenges me as a rider. It really gets us set up for a nice long straightaway, and I think that is something that we need to really focus on as riders. Here we are at turn 11 and 12, my final favorite on the track, which is hard, but this track has a lot of unique features, and this will be one of them. The flow of it's very unique, but you can see how the track kind of drops away and you kind of lose vision of it. That's another reason why this is my favorite corner on the track. Thanks for joining us on this track tour at Barber Motorsports Park. I'm Andrew Lee, and this is Inside MotoAmerica.
MotoAmerica has announced that it will again host 10 rounds of the series in 2021, headlined by a 20-race HONOS Superbike series. 8 of the 10 event dates have been finalized. The series will make its way back to Virginia International Raceway in May after COVID-19 canceled the stop at VIR in 2020. Confirmation of the additional event dates and locations will be announced soon. Hunter Dunham was back racing in the Stock 1000 class after his crash at the Ridge in Washington at the end of August. He spent the night at the hospital as a precaution to monitor his injuries. He and his team decided to sit out round 6 at New Jersey to give his body some more time to heal before getting back to it. The race weekend in Alabama kicked off with his birthday on Thursday, September 17th. The now 22-year-old ended up breaking his arm on Saturday at Barber, but is confident he'll get it plated and have enough strength to race at Indianapolis. Tango racing is in full force at round 7 of the 2020 MotoAmerica Championship. The Argentina-based road racing team is fielding a total of 4 riders, and the livery on the team's bikes is unmistakable, with logos depicting 2 dancers in a quintessential tango-esque pose. They have 2 riders in the Stock 1000 class, Buenos Aires resident Mauricio Hidalgo and Maximiliano Gerardo from Montevideo, Uruguay. Roberto Hernan Medina from Buenos Aires is racing in Supersport, and Maximiliano Rocha, also from Buenos Aires region of Argentina, who is competing in the Liqui-Moly Junior Cup. The last time all 4 riders were in the MotoAmerica paddock was at the official Dunlop preseason test in early March here at Barber. Here's the highlights from race 1 at Barber of the HONOS Superbike class with Greg and Jason.
Race 1 highlights. Good entertaining start.
Yeah, great start from Cameron Beaubier once again, as we've seen this year. Matthew Schultz, though, took advantage of an early mistake as they rolled down into Charlotte's Web on the opening lap. And Cameron tried to tuck it back up underneath him in turn 6, wasn't successful, but when they got over to turns 13, 14, 15, he was able to do that, only to have Matthew Schultz fire it back up underneath him in the last corner, turn 17. But once he got out in front, and once he got that clear air, he was gone. Jake Gagne made a couple pass attempts on Schultz when they went into turn 1, wasn't able to make that happen, but then he went down into turn 12 and did. This guy on the charge all the way through. Cam Peterson goes by Kyle Wyman on his way to an eventual 5th place. He ends up catching Bobby Fong late in the race, as you see here. Cameron slips up underneath him. Bobby Fong, we saw him coming down the front straight with a problem, but this guy, no problems whatsoever. Just a good front, big front wheel stand again down the front straightaway for Cameron Beaubier.
When we come back, I sit down with Supersport rider Kevin Almeido and get an in-depth look at his passion for racing at such a young age.
Stay tuned for more Inside MotoAmerica.
Welcome back to Barber Motorsports Park and Inside MotoAmerica. El Salvador native Kevin Almeido had dreams of racing in the United States. In 2011, he visited an American racetrack for the very first time. Now, 9 years later, he's made a name for himself in American road racing and a home within the MotoAmerica paddock. This 20-year-old is on the fast track to success as he makes his way through the classes. This is why we ride. Kevin, you're a professional racer in the MotoAmerica series, but take us back to the very beginning. How did you get your start into motorcycles?
Well, all started because my dad loves bikes since he was 14 years. Also, I'm the youngest brother of 3. When I'm born, it was like, I like to play like more motorcycles with toys and cars. After that, my brothers ride bikes, and I started trying with my brother's bikes. I started at 4 years, and I love it since that moment.
Now, did you ride your older brother's bikes, or how old were you when you got your own bike?
I didn't have my own bike. It was like my older brother have one bike, and he don't like to ride, so he gave me the bike.
Did your dad teach you how to ride, or did your brothers teach you how to ride?
Both. In the start, I think more my brothers, because I pass more time. I have more time with them. I enjoy the bikes and more company with my brothers. My dad works to give us the best for us.
How old were you when you first started racing?
Racing, my first race was in 2009, and I have 9 years. I started motocross. I didn't know how I did because it was a KTM 50, but with another engine, but it's slower. I finished 4th. I started loving the racing. Before I only ride for fun, but after that I enjoy more.
What was it like growing up in El Salvador and racing there?
I like that the people is good. He's humble, nice person, and also he's worker. Also I like because all is close. You want to go to the beach, you want to go to the mountains, and also the track is like 30 minutes, but racing there is dangerous because the track is not good. It's more for cars. The walls in front, if you crash, it's not secure, but it's like a roller coaster too there, the track. There are some good riders. Also for racing, my dad helped me. That in the start, all that I know, I learned from him.
How did you sign up for MotoAmerica? How did you learn about the series and make the decision to come here and race with us?
And we have some friends here in the United States, so we asked them if how is to ride here, what do we have to do, and they help us. But in the first race that I did in MotoAmerica, we have some friends, but it was difficult because we don't have a experience, we don't have a professional mechanics. It's more like my dad and my friends.
So if you can sum it all up, your whole career, your whole life in racing, why do you ride?
Well, it's difficult because in the start, I think for fun. But the good thing that always I enjoy it. I have fun in the track, but also racing bikes changed my life for all, because now I learn with races that I have to be patient. I have to never give up and also work more in what we want to do.
Here's the highlights from the Supersport Class at Barber with Greg and Jason.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from race number 1 because, man, these first couple of laps, we thought this fight was going to go all the way down to the checkered flag.
Yeah, what was a great start by the number 40 there of Sean Dillon Kelly. And you can see Brandon Posh and Escalante get a little close as they get down into turn 1. SDK took a shot pretty immediately on Escalante. Escalante was trying to get by. We saw this happen a lot. I think the thing that you're going to see tomorrow, the biggest improvements will be once the tires get a little bit older. SDK probably wants to make his bike a little bit better in certain areas. You can see they fought pretty hard, Greg. We even saw some contact made. This is in the last corner coming on to the front straightaway. We saw a lap later, Escalante turn around and do the exact same thing. So learned a little something. There's a big move from turn 1 up to turn 2. Anybody that's ridden here before knows how dicey that can be. This is where a little bit of contact's been made between SDK and Escalante. Got in there a little bit deep, but this is where I feel like, Greg, and SDK on new tires wants to try to kind of get up there and do what he can with Escalante as much as he can, but he can't sustain it. That battle for third went to Jason Aguilar, but it was all this guy today. Richie Escalante goes on and wins. Sean Dillon Kelly ends up second, and as I said, Aguilar ends up third. Here's some highlights from that race. SDK's got the starts nailed. This 2-hole shots in a row. Aguilar even got a better start than he was hoping to, than he did yesterday. And you can see, got a little bit crazy down here in turn 1. First lap, Almeido got in there, had a couple guys go underneath him. Originally, Brandon Posh was the guy that was bringing the fight to SDK, but it didn't take Escalante long to start getting warmed up, and he was ready to start making some moves and go to the front. He goes up underneath here, under SDK, going into Charlotte's Web, only to get paid back about 6 turns later. SDK goes underneath him, but this was the pass for the lead, Greg. Once he got through in turn 12, Escalante then put his head down. These two guys started to have a bit of a battle. Kevin Almeido and Jason Aguilar, our podium finisher from yesterday, would come home finishing 4th. Almeido would end up 5th, but at the front, this guy pulls away, wins by 8.7 seconds, even quicker lap times than he did yesterday, breaking lap record, his own lap record again, to continue his domination of this season.
Up next, we get a look inside the electronics of the HONOS Superbike class and the importance of the data recorded.
Stay tuned inside MotoAmerica for more.
Welcome back to Inside MotoAmerica at Barber Motorsports Park in Birmingham, Alabama. When you're attending a race, make sure you stop by the MotoAmerica merchandise tent to bring home some new gear for the family. If you can't make it out to one of the weekend events, visit our online store at MotoAmerica.com to see what's new and purchase right from the site. Superbike electronics are some of the most sophisticated control units in motorsports. As manufacturers engineer more advanced motorcycles than ever before, the need for engine management has grown exponentially. Adjustability is a key component in being able to ride faster and safer around each circuit that we visit. Let's meet some of the electronics engineers in MotoAmerica to learn more.
Modern superbikes use computers to run the engine completely. The rider doesn't have full control over the engine. The electronics do, the computers do. And it's my job to make sure that the rider and the computers stay happy. The most important one, and the one that we change the most often, is engine braking. This is deceleration control. So when the rider has the throttle all the way closed, the actual throttle butterflies are opening and closing to modulate how much negative torque the motorcycle has. The second strategy is traction control. This is also known as slip control. And we use engine cuts to stop the rear wheel from spinning more than the front wheel, essentially. The third strategy is wheelie control. This is basically keeps the front wheel from lifting off the ground. These bikes make so much power and they're very light that they basically want to wheelie everywhere. So we use another power cut to keep the wheel on the ground. Another strategy we use is torque control. This is limiting the maximum amount of torque the motorcycle can give. Typically we use this in first and second gear to basically keep the wheel from spinning, keep the wheelie from growing. You don't really use it in third and fourth and fifth gear, sixth gear. So.
There's no perfect setting. What works with one rider doesn't work with another rider. You gotta make the rider feel comfortable. Once he's comfortable, they're comfortable. The confidence comes. Once the confidence comes, they'll go. You want rain tires to spin less than you do a dry tire. So traction control would change. In most circumstances, you can't transmit as much torque through a wet tire, assuming it's completely wet. You might reduce the torque, and with less grip, you can't connect as much negative torque coming into the corner to slow the bike down, or the rear tire just slides into the corner. So traction control, engine brake, torque are all changed.
The electronics on superbikes at this level are so important because it allows the rider to focus on riding the motorcycle, and he doesn't get tired as quickly. So it pays off second half of the race, to where the better the electronics, the more focused the rider is later in the race.
A super stock bike might be able to do a similar time at the beginning of the race. Once the tire starts to go, once the bike gets loose, it requires exponentially more concentration to maintain that pace on a bike that doesn't have electronics.
Electronics became more prevalent in modern superbike racing when they went away from carburetors and they went to fuel injection.
Electronics were quite simple. We just had fuel and spark, and that was it. In about '06, the AMA paddock got real traction control, became legal. Ever since then, every few years, wheelie control came along a year or two later. It's a natural evolution.
The whole point is to not get so involved in electronics that the forks and the shocks and the tires don't make a difference anymore. We want to basically make it easier to ride and not take control over the whole motorcycle.
This motorcycle racing stuff, it's a real art. You try and test things back to back, but there's so many variables. That's one of the most difficult things that we do, is try and look through the changing variables and determine whether a change is better or worse. It's an art, yeah.
There are only 2 rounds left for the 2020 season, with a Heritage Cup exhibition at both. Indianapolis and Laguna Seca provide the last push for a championship with those in contention. For tickets to all MotoAmerica rounds, log on to MotoAmerica.com and select tickets in the main menu. Next on Inside MotoAmerica, Our very own Jason Pridmore walks through the Barber Vintage Motorsports Museum with one of the young riders he mentors.
Stay tuned for more on Inside MotoAmerica.
Welcome back to round 7 of the 2020 MotoAmerica season and Inside MotoAmerica. Barber Motorsports Park is home to round 7 of the 2020 season. It's also the site of the world's largest motorcycle collection at the Barber Vintage Motorsports Museum. The museum is home to over 1,600 motorcycles that span over 100 years of production. Head coach at JP43 Training and MotoAmerica commentator Jason Pridmore walks through the museum with Twins Cup rider Toby Kamstuk as they talk about the history of some of the unique bikes the museum has in its possession.
Toby, here we are, the Garber Museum. What do you think of this place?
Oh, this place is awesome.
Yeah.
I've been here 2 times, but they always update everything, so it's always something new to see.
Me being a little bit older, right? I get to come in here and I get lost in this place because there's so many bikes that I remember from my youth, and there's a couple bikes in this place that were really impactful in my career as well. But when you come in here, it never seems like you get enough time to look all the way around this place. Tobe, see that RZ350?
Yeah.
Do you know who raced that bike for their very first time? Me.
Yeah.
That was my jam. I think I was 18 years old. How old are you now?
17.
Yeah, I think I was 17 maybe. I was 17, 18 years old. That RZ350 up there, it's like exactly the way I remember it too, except for the mirrors. Do you have any idea why that bike would be here with a motor next to it?
Maybe a motor swap?
Yeah, they did a motor swap in the middle of the race. In the middle of the Daytona 200, there was some issues that we were having back then, and it was one of my very first TV jobs on pit lane. As luck would have it, they red flagged the race as DeSalvo's bike was blowing up. So during the red flag, and while all the competitors were changing tires, they put an engine in Jason's bike, and then he went out and ended up winning the race. Crazy story.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I think probably my favorite bike in the whole museum would have to be this Britain. Have you ever got close to this thing before?
Never, and just by looking at it, it seems like it's really crazy.
So John Britton made 10 of these in New Zealand. You can see all of the engineering and technology behind this bike. And I think that when I come into the Barber Museum, this is the one I get lost in the most.
Man, who's number 43?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool to see one of my bikes obviously in here. It's not in here for me though, Tobes, let's be honest, okay? Michael Jordan, when he got involved in our series, I was extremely fortunate to have 2 years of riding for the team. You probably didn't know how much you love motorcycles, right?
I just remember just him being involved in the sport and stuff, and I was like, oh, it's pretty cool that someone out of racing is kind of getting into it, so.
He was an avid motorcyclist, and he would go bomb around kind of at night in Chicago, apparently. That's kind of how the story was told to me. And then I was lucky enough to meet him because of golf, of all things. And then we ended up putting some things together with Suzuki, and the team went on and had a long run, won some championships, obviously with Aaron Yates, and they won at Daytona with Jake Zemke. So it was really neat to be a part of the start of that anyways.
Gear looks brand new, Jay.
I know, it looks good.
Just hop in it right now.
I know, I wish I could. I'd love to go take it for a rip. You think they'd notice? Maybe. There's stories in amongst all the stuff that you see. His daughter's name's in here. The head designer at Nike, he made me my own shoes with my number on them and everything after we did well.
I can go rip right now.
Yeah, no, I mean,
for a spin.
Yeah, I'd love to go take it out for a spin. And when you look at just above it, that was their original in 2004 when Michael came to the series. They had Montez Stewart was actually riding that motorcycle, and that's kind of what got them into the championship. It was really Michael's passion to run a team or have a team in the paddock that drove us to this. But it'd be fun to take it out and do a couple laps.
Yeah,
no doubt. So anyways, Tobe, what do you think of this place?
Oh, it's amazing.
Got a little history lesson this morning?
Yeah, a little bit,
You know?
but I'm only on the first level.
I know, we got so many other levels that we could go rip at and explore, but you know what I'm kind of hoping? I'm hoping that one day, Toby Kamstuk starts winning some championships and we get to come in here and see one of your bikes.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, that would be for the right reasons, you know? Win some championships, get your bike in the Barber Museum. It'd be really cool to see that. Thanks for joining me.
No problem, man. I had a blast.
Stick around after the break. Roger Hayden and Rocco Landers relax off track trying to reel in some bass before the race weekend.
Stay tuned for more on Inside MotoAmerica.
Welcome back to Inside MotoAmerica at Barber Motorsports Park, just outside of Birmingham, Alabama. Rocco Landers is on track to accomplish something few riders have ever done before, winning championships in 2 different classes within the same season. To help take his mind off the pressure, our very own Roger Hayden helped him slow down the pace and practice his patience with a relaxing afternoon by the water.
This is a nice pond.
Dude, it's real nice. I would love to have this.
My dream fishing trip is to like the Caribbean or whatever, and I want to go catch some mahi-mahi. Oh, that was a good cast. You crossed my line.
You getting any bites?
No, I'm not. See, I like fishing when the things are biting. Otherwise, no.
What do you do? Like when you're not at the races, like what do you do for fun? Let's just say this weekend you couldn't be on 2 wheels and you could do anything you wanted. What would it be?
Depends. When I'm at home, a lot of work. Got a farm to keep up.
If you could do anything on the weekend, what would it be?
Ride flat track, probably.
Flat track? No, it couldn't be motorcycle related.
Oh.
You had to do something that wasn't motorcycle related.
I like riding jet skis, that's fun.
Okay, there you go.
I like going to the lakes and like big lakes that have like cliffs or whatever you can jump off. What do you do, Raj? What do you do?
I like to go fishing. I like hunting, stuff like that. Anything that's outdoors. Sports, I love the Chicago Bears, unfortunately. Got one?
I think so. I don't know what to do. I suck at it. Here you go. Dude, I barely got it. No, please, no. I ain't touching fish. They give me the heebie-jeebies.
Like, what about like watching on TV? You don't have like a favorite sports team?
Maybe Monster Yamaha MotoGP. Red Bull, KTM, one of them. One of the MotoGP teams. If you ask me my favorite TV show, it's Inside MotoAmerica. This is how clueless I am at sports. If you ask me a team, I guarantee I wouldn't be able to tell you which sport they play.
All right, what sport is the Boston Celtics?
Hockey? Basketball.
Basketball.
Okay. Got a fish. Got one. Got it.
Here you go. Here's just some gloves. Let's see. Here you go. I'll hold the pole for you.
I just hate the way they flop. Are you ready?
There you go. I gotta hurry up and catch one. I'm behind. You know, you done caught all the fish in this spot.
Sorry.
Focused. Holy hell, I got a big one.
You actually got an actual fish? Rod, you did it!
Oh!
Did you get it? There you go.
It doesn't count unless you get it on the bank.
You want the gloves?
No. That's how a real man gets it.
I'm a boy.
So you're the oldest? Does he ride?
No.
So your sister's gonna start racing next year?
Apparently.
Are you coaching her?
Yep.
Are you gonna tell her everything or are you gonna hold back?
Hold it a little bit back.
Why, you scared she'll be faster than you?
Shut it, Raj. You caught something.
I'm having a bad day. I'm tied with your little brother. I've caught one.
All that matters is not the championships, it's that I'm able to outfish Raj.
The trophy's in the mail. Yeah, it really doesn't count when you can't take your own fish off. And you have to have gloves for a small fish. No, I'll give it to you. You caught more than me. I had fun fishing, even though you outfished me. Good luck this weekend. I know you'll be trying to wrap up those championships, so. Though I want a rematch. No gloves next year, though.
That works.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
Gloves off.
That's right.
Let's get to the highlights in the Liqui-Moly Junior Cup class.
Liqui-Moly Junior Cup Race 2 highlights from Sunday. Rocco Landers was the man.
Well, on a day where he could wrap up the championship, all these guys started to rough Rocco up a little bit. Lockoff gets a jump, and this time he holds the throttle open. And as we got out of turn 4 and 5, next thing you know, the number 1 was in 4th place as Ben Gloddy and Dominic Doyle also made their way through. It wouldn't take long, though, for Rocco to start to come forward. You see here, he gets himself up to 3rd. He would do a double draft and get by both Gloddy and Dominic Doyle as they entered turn 1. Gloddy and Doyle switch back. Also, Gloddy moves up into 2nd. Then, as Rocco starts to take off, Sam Lockoff decides to go up underneath both of these guys, and a big field of riders was together. All of our junior cuppers got into the minute 35s, top 10 guys, I mean. But with 1 to go, Rocco Landers' championship party was a little bit spoiled because we had a red flag. But that was the end of the race. Rocco Landers wins. Dominic Doyle ends up second place.
Another #1 for Rocco Landers, your first champion in MotoAmerica in 2020.
Coming up next on Inside MotoAmerica, we mic up Stefano Mesa between his Stock 1000 and Superbike races, plus a couple of familiar faces in the MotoAmerica paddock and pits.
Stay tuned for more Inside MotoAmerica.
Welcome back to Inside MotoAmerica at Barber Motorsports Park, just outside of Birmingham, Alabama. The paddock and pits are part of the race action that fans don't get as much access to as watching the races. We mic'd up a few personalities to get an inside look at the action adjacent to the track.
So actually, let me rephrase. It was my mistake. Before the red flag, I had no TC on. I had my TC off. Oh. Because I turned it off to pull wheelies yesterday after my second place. So I figured that out, but my tire was 3 pounds up. Xavier, you remember X-Men? Little guy. He used to be a little guy.
Come on, the one that used to ride down there.
Full privateer, my friend.
Fucking Superman style.
That's a good thing.
It is.
Sorry I couldn't perform, Nige. I got a bad tire for sure. Scoop the money, you come here.
I know, I saw the design I have at the school.
So I can afford it and race with the big boys. But we enjoy doing it, you know, Esteban. We enjoy it with the whole family and... Exactly.
You're gonna launch from the paddock and then just go out for the siding lap from there. So
well,
you just keep it on the warmers up there.
So how is my guys gonna get to the grid in time?
They're gonna leave before you do. They're gonna leave earlier. Are you a photographer?
I'm with Chaplain Raymond. He had me come out here and take some pictures, but if I need to leave, I can leave.
You have a bib you can put on, like a photographer's bib?
I don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna still have you step on.
Yeah, I'll do it. No problem.
Thank you. Did you get enough pictures though?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, thank you. Pants, just give my man right there a wave and, oh my God! Hadget, do we have anybody on row 4? Hey Matt, were they trying to see if they could push that bike onto the grid from pit lane?
No, they just want to put on warmers.
Okay. Yeah. I know I can count on you guys, you're real professional. That was exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Unnecessarily so.
I mean, I've been a little bored ushering teams in, so I've been doing it with some flair. So that's exciting for me. Nailing it, good job, good job. It's so awesome when you make them smile. I play air guitar in an air band. Kind of a big deal. All right, let's go crush some dreams. Just kidding. I gotta keep it interesting, right? At least they smile sometimes, even if they had a bad race. I do care. Looks like a motorcycle, so you got that going for you.
There's a lot of really beautiful bikes in this paddock.
6 more minutes. I know. It's enough time to bake me some brownies.
That's what?
The next episode of Inside MotoAmerica will be filmed at the world-famous Brickyard, where MotoAmerica is making its debut at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Check your local listings for air times on the NBC Sports Network. For all of us here at Inside MotoAmerica, I'm Hannah Lopa. See you in Indy.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited. We're gonna nail it.
He's recording us. Yeah, you're gonna have to cut that part off.
Thank you very much, ladies. Enjoy your break. Nice job, Hannah.